My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
All right, guys, welcome back to Property Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce Kaminski, filling in for Dave Dubow. And have you ever wondered how a yacht captain navigates the world of real estate syndication? Well, today my guest, Scott Kidd from Yachty Real Estate Investors, is here to shed light on the unique intersection of luxury sailing, property investment. Scott, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Excited to hear about what that even means.
Hey, thank you, Bryce. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
ChatGPT's loving the nautical references, so I'm going to read the question verbatim. Can you tell us about your journey from being a yacht captain to diving in to the world of real estate syndications?
No, very nice. Because I'm just a little side note on ChatGPT. When I tried to make my own avatar, I kind of sound like a pirate for the
Oh, it loves, I don't know what it is, but ChatGPT loves pirate references.
Yeah.
It loves nautical references, the
Yeah.
stormy seas of this,
Yeah.
and as soon as it
Ahoy.
catches wind, oh
Yeah.
man, it goes all the way down. But in any case, yacht captain, let's touch that for a second.
Well,
What is that about, and how did you dive into the real estate at that point?
well, I've been a yacht captain for over 20 years, been on yachts for about 25 years. It's a very unstable business, here today, gone tomorrow, or even gone today. So I always was working on something as another stream of income, or something that would would have some passive income or active income that would offset that. Because if you're in any type of job, if you lose one, you don't want to jump right into the next thing because you have to. You want to be able to find the one that's the best fit for you and the partners you're working with, or the company you're working with. But so that was always the reason, and real estate ended up being one of the best things that I ever invested in. I tried a bunch of different businesses, good and bad. Had some ups and downs, but how I originally got into the multifamily space was I had some friends of mine and I were at the beach in Fort Lauderdale, and one of the friends, Vu, said to me, "Hey, he's telling me the story of how he sold a 46 unit apartment in Houston, Texas, and he made quite a large sum of money." And I asked him, I said, "Well, you can do that?" And he said, "Yeah, you can do it. I did it. I mean, anybody can do it. It's not as difficult as you might think when it's sold houses." Your personal houses, it's not that much different. It just takes a few more people, and the deals are
More
pretty much
dollars.
the same. A few more dollars, but you get more people involved to bring more dollars. So it's and the kind of light bulb went off, and I started my exploration of it. Learned a lot, as much as I could, and then started meeting more people, and it started the journey there.
Nice, nice. So how do you balance the responsibilities? Like, how much do you do the yacht charters versus overseeing your real estate deals?
Well, I've been lucky over the years. I've worked as a yacht captain. I'm more of a manager, and I've been lucky working for people that were very family oriented. So I always had time. You always have downtime. It's like a normal 8 to 5 for the most part. Some days are longer than others, but we always have a dedicated internet connection. So I've kind of focused on things that I can do while I'm away, investing in apartments, or houses, or any type of properties, from afar can be a little challenging, but it has its benefits as well. You can't be hands-on. And right now I'm work on rotation, so I'm 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. And when I'm not doing my job on the boat, I'm usually working on real estate, or networking with other people. And right now I'm off, so I'm pretty much full on doing real estate. So
Yeah, I've always found that the people who do relatively well in real estate have an on-off schedule. They'll do like 14 on and 14 off. It's the 9 to 5ers that have a really hard time getting traction because you almost have to build momentum to break through in real estate. And if you're, get home 5 o'clock, put the kids in the bath, and it's 9 o'clock. How
Yeah,
much traction can you really make before work and after work 5 days a week? And oh, I need you to come in on Saturday. So
yeah,
yeah, the on-off schedule does allow that like breakaway space where you're like, okay, I've got 6 weeks to really like take this to the max and then
yeah.
back
And
back
it and
on.
it, and it helps that if you time blocking and all those exercises that it takes a lot more work and dedication while actually it's less. I mean, I have to focus less on the boat when I'm there because I have less things at home. I have a lot more things going than that I have to get done. Home life is a full-time job.
Hmm.
But on the boat, I'm after I've done my 8 hours or we've gotten the projects completed, the rest of the time, I have plenty of time to work on. And I notoriously get up pretty early and focus on what I need to get done. And you can get a lot done if you time block, say, hey, I'm going to work on it for an hour in the
Hmm.
morning and then, an hour at night. At the end of the week, that's, 10 hours, and then if you have the weekend too, 4 hours a day or 2 hours, 4 hours on the weekend. So it's 60 hours a month, close to
Yeah, now
100.
you got yourself a job. Sounds like a
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
part-time job at least. So what inspired you to focus multifamily syndications, particularly Columbus, Ohio, and Texas? Why there? Why not somewhere else?
Well, I like the growth in Texas and it's very stable and they're very business oriented and they're very landlord friendly and they're also they're with a lot of tech and a lot of startups moving to Texas because of their tax structure and their business friendly environment that comes a lot of jobs, a lot of people moving there, and plus it's a decent place to live. And
Hmm.
Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, especially, I graduated from the University of Texas, and I see a lot of similarities. 25, 30 years ago when I was in school there to now in Columbus, Ohio. Amazon data center coming in. You have the Intel chip factories, you have the Honda EV plants going in, you have Ohio State University, which is about 60,000 students. So you have probably a high-tech labor force that can come right out of college and stay there instead of,
Going to California.
California or stay there and live there because the it's only about, I believe, 20% of income goes to rent. So it's a very expensive place to live.
Hmm.
uh, and they've done a lot of things where it's voted a lot of one of the more livable cities because they have a lot more things to make to attract people to want to live there.
Hmm.
It's just I see a lot of similarities in that regard, and if Intel is putting $27 billion into the area, I think that that's going to
Maybe
go a
we could
long
put a
way.
few million.
Yeah, yeah, maybe the rest, some of it might trickle off
Like
into.
roulette, you see a
Yeah,
guy putting a bunch of money on red. He must know something. Ah, put it in on red.
yeah, yeah,
Intel's going down. I'm going down with Intel.
yeah. And I personally I like to invest where software and tech is very forward thinking. So they're planning on being there for a long time. Because a chip factory is it probably takes 5-10 years to build, and then they're planning on being there for a long time. And it's also a matter of national security because we saw during COVID that these chips are built in only a few places in the world, whereas if we build them here in the States, it's better for us, and I
Hmm.
like that kind of stuff like that. That's good for
Yeah, the
Americans.
Burger King model, build next to every McDonald's.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
like burgers. Let's put one right next door.
Yeah.
So walk us through a little bit of your strategy when it comes to raising capital and ultimately building those investor relationships in the real estate industry.
Well, for the most part, what I do is I start with friends, family, and I have a
Mhm.
pretty decent network in the yachting community and
Yeah.
maritime community. I don't know a lot of entrepreneurs and stuff that have yacht businesses, yacht related businesses. And I've met a lot of people just being on the boats
Yeah,
over the
that's a
years,
certain
you know.
certain there's like a filter happening. There's
Yeah,
not if you're on this boat, you probably did something to be on this boat. You probably maybe have a few
yeah,
dollars to be hanging out
yeah.
on this yacht.
Well, generally, it's more a lot of my network is the people that are working on the yachts and the
Mm.
entrepreneurs and stuff that are in the maritime business in general. Because the higher net worth uh, people that charter the boats or own these boats, generally they're like, I would say they take a lot longer to solicit, or to get
Oh yeah.
actually solicit, they take a lot longer to vet because they usually have, someone, a manager or someone that is
Fund
in
manager
charge
or
of
something.
charge of their real estate portfolio, John or so and so. So you have to go talk to John and you have to talk to 10 people before you talk to John. So that would take a while. And plus they know me for, being their yacht captain. They probably give me $3 million to do a refit, which a refit is just like a rehab,
Hmm.
because I have 20 plus years experience in it. But, you know, making the connection of, hey,
Also a
it's
real
real
estate.
estate deal. They're gonna go question it a little bit because that's not mine. Plus, it's just kind of unwritten rule. You don't solicit the guests.
Mm.
It's generally, it's the same thing like at your work.
Well, it's
You don't
like
necessarily solicit the boss.
yeah, it's like the industry you're in though is like big pieces, it's like to refit a little boat, 30 grand or something. But
Yeah,
you're talking about $3 million
yeah,
to
yeah.
refit this potentially what is one of those yachts usually run?
It depends. They can go into the hundreds of millions. Like
Exactly, right?
get
So the
involved.
decimal place you're hanging out in,
Yeah.
definitely an interesting source. Now, you mentioned sourcing deals from LinkedIn and meetup groups. How do you leverage these platforms to kind of find the what you're looking for?
Well, for the most part, just start with, you kind of drill down to what you're actually looking for, what you need, and then you kind of use some other tools that are involved with it, like Sales Navigator. And then once you find these specific people, you reach out to them if you have, especially if you have a common connection, they might be in your network or might be that. And then, just ask them what kind of approach them, very genuinely what you're actually looking for. I think you just have to be genuine because it's a little tougher going in cold to make these connections. But
Mhm.
with LinkedIn, people are a little more business friendly. So if you're going in with a direct business question or something that you're looking for or something that you can provide value to them, then it's a much easier connection, especially if some other people know you in their network or they know you have common connections. If you see that you have a common connection that's a close friend, say, hey, Steve, so and so, I think he used to work with you, and then you go from there. It's a little tougher, but people are LinkedIn is much more friendly as
Yeah.
far as those type of connections. I really like it because you can just get right to the point and ask people, genuine questions. I don't, it's quite a unique platform.
So a lot of times in real estate, we are talking about mindset, mindset this, mindset that. How do you maintain a positive mindset amidst the challenges of real estate investing?
Well, I mean, I guess, it goes back to my parents have always been fairly positive and always been very hardworking, and they had several businesses and stuff, and they usually just worked for themselves. And I do a lot of just meditation and breath work, and that helps me a lot. And just putting myself around other people that are actually doing it, that helps a lot with the mindset. If you just do a search on anything you're looking to do in real estate or what have you, somebody out there is probably already doing it. If you see what,
Mm-hmm.
there's probably a YouTube video on it. They'll probably show you exactly how they did it. And then it makes it a little more comfortable because you look at that person, you go, hey, they're doing it, so I can do it. And I've always kind of form follows fashion, or what have you. You learn by seeing somebody else. Hey, they can do it, I can too. And
Mm-hmm.
most of the time you can comment to them on, comment on something that they're doing, and they will answer you back if you have a question and stuff, if it's a genuine question, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what's great about social media and stuff. I'm on it probably more than I should be, but it's always, doing something with real estate. I probably don't really reach out to as many of my old friends I probably should, but
Yeah.
I focus a lot on just making those connections.
So, how do you educate potential investors about the viability of apartment syndications as a diversification strategy for their portfolios?
Well, I have an ebook that I wrote, and also a just a checklist, a captain's pre-departure checklist that I wrote, just to kind of start. And there's a lot of information that's out there, and what I try to do is get on, send them as much information as possible, and then get on a call and speak to them about it. And I don't usually try to see what their goals are, as far as why they're interested in this, and then share from there, because it's really about what their goals and their needs are. So it may not be, I've actually told people that, hey, this may not be the right thing for you, because, hey, you have to realize that your money's going to be locked up for quite a few years, minimum. You always have to think a minimum 5 to 7 years. So, you know, and I've told them, hey, this is probably not for you, because you got kids, and you might have something going on that you might need that money for, maybe down the line, or there's some other things, but there's a lot of free education that I point a lot of people to, because it's all out there. You don't need to really necessarily go buy a course or anything like that, or just listen to me, or anything like that. My ego is not big enough for everyone to tell everyone that they need to listen to me. So, but there's a lot of books that I recommend for people to read, and I have a lot of books sitting on the shelf, and my mom always taught me that books no good if it's sitting on the shelf. So if they need something, I usually just send it out to other people and say, hey, read this book, and then we'll follow up and see what we got out of it, and we'll
Yeah, once you read
keep on
it,
the
you're
road.
like, unless it's a reference textbook, and maybe you can read
Yeah,
it again in a few years or
yeah.
something. But
I mean, there's
good
that,
to have, you pull it down, you go.
yeah, there's a great book by Brian Burke, The Hands-Off Investor. It's all about syndications, and I usually recommend that one. Like, if you're serious about it, it tells you how to passively invest, and it's really helped me, as being a general partner on deals and in the syndication, that you know to figure out what the investors need. And it's really to realize more and more that it's about the investor. It's what fits their needs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on that note, if people want to connect you through, they want to find out more about the deals that you're doing, the things that you're up to, and maybe chartering a yacht with you, what should they do? How do they find you?
Investwithscottkid.com/free gift. And that's my captain's pre-departure checklist for apartment investing. And I'm on LinkedIn. My name's Scott Kidd. Easy to find.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Scott, I really appreciate you stopping by and letting people know a little bit about what you're up to and your unique lifestyle that allows you the space and time to really knock it out the park.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
No problem. Until next time, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.